Yancey, in his book, What's So Amazing About Grace, tells about the definition of love given by Mother Teresa at a national prayer breakfast in Washington. Rolled out in a wheelchair and helped to the podium, that at 4'6" she needed a special platform to stand on so she could be seen. She said that we'd lost the proper meaning of love. She said that love was giving until it hurts. She understood love because she lived it. She had held the dying she did not know, ministered to the sick and the smelly, the lost and the diseased. She gave until it hurt because she knew one who gave until he died. Dr. Elam Davies, the former senior minister at Fourth Presbyterian Church, made a wonderful suggestion when he preached on the 13th chapter of 1 Corinthians. He said one could easily substitute the word God for love in this chapter. God is patient, kind, not arrogant, boastful, or rude. God does not insist on God's own way, does not rejoice in wrongdoing, but rejoices in the truth. God believes all things, hopes all things, endures all things. God's love never ends. What if we could see ourselves the way God sees us? What if we could see ourselves as the ones whom God has chosen to love? Annie Lamont, who came back to the faith after traversing far and wide, shows us where to start. She said in an interview in a magazine, "I never said I'm a good Christian. I just know that Jesus adores me. I say, 'Hi, Lord,' and he says, 'Hello, darling.' He loves me so much that he keeps a photo of me in his wallet. If I were the only person on earth, he still would have died for me." That's where we start. An inner knowledge that we are loved. Love beyond our comprehension, beyond our earning or deserving. This experience of God's love allows us to love others. It's the beginning of the freedom to care about others with reckless abandon. That's what servants of Christ do. They care about others. Now, before you get all gushy, let me give you a warning from my own personal experience. Sometimes, in that caring, you may find yourself being emotionally killed. Love hurts. Sometimes love hurts a lot. Remember always what C.S. Lewis once wrote. To love at all is to be vulnerable. Love anything, and your heart will be certainly wrung and possibly even broken. If you want to make sure of keeping it intact, you must give your heart to no one, not even an animal. Wrap it carefully round with hobbies and little luxuries. Avoid all entanglements. Lock it safe in a casket where it will remain, dark, motionless, airless. It will change. It will not be broken. It will become unbreakable, impenetrable, irredeemable. The only place where you can be perfectly safe from all the dangers and perturbations of hell is hell. That is the place where you're safe from love. The love that Jesus and St. Paul are talking about has the eternity of God written all over it. You and I both know people whose lives are loveless and so are hellish. But we also know people whose lives have been grasped by the power of God's love and who are so now free to love with abandon. How does this work? Dr. Michael Linville, now the senior pastor of the Vibrant Burton Presbyterian Church in New York, tells a story about a church he served early in his career that was far more crazy, but far more loving than the church at Corinth. The organist only knew 3 hymns, and that's all they ever sang. Agnes learned those hymns 60 years ago in 1 week after the organist who preceded her had up and died. And she had not been able to learn another hymn since. A young member, Neil, explained to Linville that half the reason they keep the church open was because it gave Agnes something to do. Agnes lived for Sundays. Then Neil went on to say that he played too. Very well, in fact. He was a graduate of the Eastman School of Music in 1984. Had some big jobs playing huge instruments, but then he got sick. HIV. The personnel committee of the church he was serving thought it would be best if he moved on after Christmas. He didn't have anywhere to go, and not a lot of money because he was now paying out of pocket for his meds. His grandfather told him to move in with him and his Aunt Agnes. "She's your aunt?" Linville explained. "Yep," the young man said. "They kept Agnes, but they took me in. I still get to play the organ every night, though. The organ isn't grand, but it's a sweet little instrument, and so I play. And when it's warm, I open the windows and the doors of the church, and the people sit on their porches and listen to me play Bach, Buxtehude, Wagner, all the stuff I love. And when I'm done, they clap from their porches. Even Agnes claps." Their lives say the word love loud and clear as they live out Jesus' commandment to a love that bears all things, believes all things, hopes all things, endures all things. A love that never fails us, so that we might never fail each other. Amen.